Hey guys, got another little video for you. I have got a bottle cage lineup for you today. I'm going to talk about some pros and cons about some different types of bottle cages and some different weights and different looks of bottle cages as well. So starting off here, we'll go from left to right. This is a brand new cage that I just got, and which I'm pretty excited about, and I'll tell you why in a second. This is the Gateway Pro1 Carbon cage from Giant. It's a matte carbon fiber. It's very light, but the cool thing about it, it's a very stiff cage. And I'll tell you why I'm excited about this cage here in just a second. But that cage, oops, my gram scale went off. Let's turn it back on. In at 23 grams, so very light. Pretty pricey cage though, it runs $50. I'm sure you can find it maybe cheaper online, but what I've found, because it's a new cage, everybody's going to run about the same. This is the Bontragger RL cage. It's not the lightest that Bontragger makes, but it's a nice cage. It comes in a glossy black, fairly stiff cage. Still kind of an open design here. And this one comes in at 35 grams. Sorry for the glare here. So 35 grams for the RL cage, and it runs about 19 bucks from the Bontragger store. You can probably find it for a little bit cheaper. Good cage, fairly stiff. This is actually what I've been using on my current road bike. I have one of the Arrow water bottle holders that mounts to the back of my seat post, and it works alright. Next, jumping over here, we've got a Bell cage I got from Academy Sports, and this one actually weighs 36 grams and cost a whole, I believe, $6, something like that. So a great little budget cage for somebody looking for a cage. A little bit flexy cage, so if you're on a mountain bike, you might have bottles popping out of this. But you can't beat this little cage for the price. Now the last two, I've got two aluminum bottle cages. One's a little bit heavier duty than the other one. One's Giant, and one is a no-name. The heavier one weighs in at 71 grams, so quite a bit heavier, but pretty much, indestructible, do everything cage, and it's not going to break the bank. I believe this probably was, $11, $12, something like that. Oops, let's try that again. Zero my thing out again. Okay, so 69, 70 grams. And the Giant one, aluminum, a little bit lighter. 47 grams versus 70, so substantially lighter. And this one, I don't have a clue. This is probably a cheap one that you can get anywhere, at least that sells Giant. So, why would I want to choose the more expensive cage over, say, this Bontragger RL, which happens to be my second lightest cage, coming in at 35 grams. And that one's 38 grams. And actually, this one might not be a bad option. First, this one is a bit too flexy for people that are going to mount this to the back of their seat post, because your bottles will definitely be popping out of this. There's just too much flex in this. Now down on the down tube, it probably worked fine. I don't recommend it on a mountain bike. Same thing with this. This is what I've been using on the back of my seat post, and actually I've had a couple bottles pop out, but haven't found something that I liked better. Well, just today I came along and found this Giant. Now I found a previous version of this. I don't know if it was Giant. It looked similar, but it was just too small to fit the Podium Chill water bottles. Well, I found this today, saw it, tried a water bottle, and it fit perfect. Now the big thing that I really like about it is it's not an open mouth design like this one, and it's very stiff. So I'm not going to have bottles popping out of this, and I happen to really like the matte carbon fiber weave. Now, is it worth $50? Well, if it keeps you from losing your bottles and you have to constantly be stopping, I think it is. But that's the main thing, is it's a really stiff carbon cage. It's very light, 25 grams, and it's not an open front, so I don't have to worry about bottles popping out. So yep, when you get a pair of these, you'll end up spending $100 versus, say, if I were to get the Bell one, well, you're going to end up spending probably $12 for two of them. But for the look, for the stiffness, for the weight, I think it's pretty cool. And once again, that is the giant Gateway Pro1 Carbon bottle cage. So yeah, post in the comments, let me know what you use. If you found anything lighter, I know there's some lighter stuff out there, but they may not hold as well, because what happens is you build something really, really light, it tends to be very flexible and very flimsy, and it won't hold a bottle cage, especially mounted to the back of a seat post in one of the arrow holders. I fully plan on using this in the back, and I think it'll work fantastic, and I don't have to worry about losing my bottles anymore.